The real hopeless victims of mental illness are to be found among those who appear to be most normal. They are normal not in what may be called the absolute sense of the word. They are normal only in relation to a profoundly abnormal society. Imagine a world where everyone is happy. No war, no hunger, no suffering. Everyone has a job they were born to do. Sex is free. Drugs are safe. Entertainment is endless. There's no pain, only pleasure. Sounds like utopia, right? That's exactly what Aldous Huxley wanted you to think, at first. But Brave New World isn't about paradise. It's about the price of comfort, the cost of pleasure. It's a world where humanity has traded meaning for ease, truth for distraction, freedom for security. And what's most terrifying about Huxley's vision is how recognizable it's becoming. Today we're going to take a deep dive into Huxley's dystopia, not just to understand it, but to see how many of its most disturbing elements already surround us. This is Brave New World, and this is the dark side of pleasure. In Brave New World, there are no bars, no beatings, no visible chains. People are not forced into submission. They're conditioned to love their servitude. From birth, each citizen is engineered to fit a social role, trained with hypnopedic mantras like, "Everyone belongs to everyone else," and "A gram is better than a dam." This society is not held together by violence, it's held together by pleasure. Children are sexualized early. Soma, the state-sanctioned drug, erases discomfort with chemical efficiency. Suffering is pathologized rather than understood. The result is a society of people who are technically free, but who've never learned to think, feel, or resist. They don't rebel because they have no reason to. Their desires have been pre-programmed. Their discontent has been anesthetized. Huxley's genius was to show how totalitarianism can wear a smiling face, how pleasure can enslave more effectively than pain. And in an era of algorithmic entertainment, curated identities, and chemical escapes, we have to ask, is our world really so different? Truth, in Brave New World, is inconvenient. It causes instability, so it's eliminated, not by censorship, but by saturation. People aren't denied information, they're drowned in it. Sensory overload replaces deep thought. What matters is not what's true, but what's entertaining. As Mustafa Mond, the world controller, explains, you can't consume much if you sit still and read books. This dystopia doesn't ban ideas, it buries them beneath distraction. Sound familiar? Our own culture produces more content than any human could consume in 100 lifetimes. We are constantly stimulated, constantly scrolling, constantly occupied. Huxley's nightmare wasn't that books would be burned. It was that nobody would care to read them, that people would become so satisfied, so amused, that they'd forget to ask if anything mattered. The greatest threat to truth isn't lies, it's indifference. And in that regard, Brave New World feels eerily prophetic. In the world state, the individual doesn't matter. Identity is reduced to function. People are not born, they are decanted. Not raised, they are conditioned. And above all, they are discouraged from being alone. Solitude is suspect. Introspection is dangerous. The goal isn't just to control behavior, it's to prevent inner life altogether. We see this in the obsession with constant company, constant noise, constant engagement. Individuality threatens the collective. Depth threatens stability. So instead of developing selfhood, citizens are taught to conform, to consume, and to avoid silence at all costs. We live in a world that rewards conformity and punishes reflection. We brand ourselves online, tailor our thoughts to trends, and avoid discomfort with endless digital noise. Huxley saw it coming, the slow erosion of soul in favor of simulated connection. And he asked a simple question: what happens when we lose the ability to be alone with ourselves? The world state is peaceful. Crime is virtually non-existent. Everyone is employed. There is no war, no famine, no crisis. But at what cost? Art, literature, religion, philosophy, all abolished or neutered. Passion is dangerous. Grief is unnecessary. Love is obsolete. Every high point of human experience is leveled for the sake of stability, and in this stability, nothing real is allowed to flourish. This is Huxley's central tragedy: peace without purpose, pleasure without passion, a society where everything is smooth and sterile and numb, where people live longer, feel less, and die without ever having truly lived. And the worst part? They're happy, or at least they think they are, which makes resistance almost impossible. We must ask ourselves, are we willing to sacrifice the pain that makes life meaningful for the comfort that makes it dull? Are we already doing so? The only true dissenter in Brave New World is John the Savage. Raised outside the world state, he represents everything the system has erased: grief, love, beauty, sacrifice. But when confronted with the soulless pleasure of civilization, he doesn't conform. He revolts. John chooses suffering over sedation. He chooses truth over comfort. And ultimately, he chooses death over a life without meaning. Huxley wasn't romanticizing pain. He was reminding us that suffering can be humanizing, that discomfort can spark thought, that the cost of perpetual pleasure is our humanity. We're not yet in Huxley's world, but the door is open, the path is well lit. The question is whether we recognize the warning or walk willingly into the smile-shaped cage. Aldous Huxley didn't give us a world of horror. He gave us a world of happiness and showed us how terrifying that can be. In a society that fears boredom more than tyranny, silence more than censorship, and suffering more than slavery, pleasure becomes the perfect prison. So the next time you reach for the next hit of comfort, scrolling, shopping, swiping, ask yourself, what are you avoiding? What are you losing? And is it worth it? Because the most dangerous dystopias aren't built with violence. They're built with smiles. Thanks for listening.